Do you know, if you take the sun out of the solar system, everything will fly off in the middle of nowhere, into the darkness, into chaos, all over the place, madness and horror. But the planets might be saying to themselves, or saying to each other, hey, do you know what, wouldn't it be great to break away from these orbits that we have to do around the sun? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just fly off and do our own thing? Of course, a wise planet might say, well, actually, no, that's not a good idea at all, because there is chaos out there and we're just going to get lost and we'll never see each other again, and there's nothing that holds us together and there's no order, and it's pretty terrible. And it's similar with God. You take God out of the equation, and it's rather like taking the sun, which is in fact a symbol of God, traditionally, from the solar system. So you lift that out and you've got chaos, and you take God out, you've got chaos. It's rather like if you take the poles from a tent away, it'll fall down. There is something that God provides which brings everything out, brings everything into order, into structure, through justice and truth. And as the book The Astrology of God shows, everything must be known. And rather like the sun shines its light on everything, so everything must be known. But the thing is, we are at a critical time in the world now where, and I'm going to go into this in these little videos in the future. I'll be going into this, how religion, all religions, all of the true religions have been undermined one way or another. And of course that is rather like taking the sun out of the solar system, or just breaking the tent pole so everything falls down and collapses. A very bad thing indeed. So there's been this undermining, chipping away, this and the division that's been created between religions, of course, that both understand, or all of them understand, the one true God. And yet they've been divided and fighting each other, forced to do it, played against each other. And of course, again, this all undermines religion. And you've got these intellectuals who undermine religion. You've got the fashion of the atheists who are all part of it as well. But fortunately, we have a key, ladies and gentlemen. We have the astrology of God, which explains logically, clearly, and with evidence that you can look at. You can even look at it through a telescope or use your mathematics, and things like reincarnation. Yes, a lot of the that I know some main religions refuse to accept reincarnation, but just as a plant grows by having day and night, day and night, day and night, so we grow by having day and night, day and night, day and night. Some people think that that's, or I should say body, spirit, body, spirit, body, spirit, until the ultimate. But some people might say, well, that takes away the motive to be good. Well, I can tell you it doesn't, because everything is accounted for. And a lot of what we have to do, of a lot of what we've done in this life, we certainly have to face up, either in this life or between here and the other one. So we've got to face up to it anyway. But the thing is, there is reincarnation. But the thing is, that has been taken out of the equation in many, in some religions, because it suggests, well, don't worry, you can just have another go next time, just be as corrupt as you like. But it doesn't quite work like that. It's a way of taking away, I suppose, your power to say that there is no reincarnation at all. Now, and yet there is evidence, and I will be looking into this in future videos, in all the good and true religions of reincarnation anyway. Similarly, talking about taking power away, I mean, the whole thing that I'm involved with is giving you power. I want you to have power. I want you to use that key, the Astrology of God, which is a book given to you by God, so that you can read and understand and think independently, work it out and say, yeah, there it is. And then look at your scriptures so that they come alive. And you can see, well, look, oh yes, I wasn't going to go into examples of this in a not too distant future, but you can see, using that book, You can see if you have that not understanding, you can see your own religions, your scriptures, and so on come alive, because when you have an understanding of God that's referenced in this world, then when you read something else that's to do with it, it adds that dimension. Of course, it will bring it alive. But again, this is something I'm going to go into in greater detail. This is just an introductory video of the sort of things I'm going to be doing. And so, so I want to give you that power, and that's what that book does. It enables you to connect with God, certainly in your own way if you want to. It certainly helps bring alive your religions. It certainly enables you to read on your own. You can read the astrology of God, the message to us all, so you can get thinking, your scriptures, and do it on your own, and go and talk to your friend. You don't need to go to anyone else to do this. Of course, it might help if there's somebody else who knows it, and also you can go and tell your friends about it. You could be the teacher. So that's what this is all about. It's about enabling you. And I think that's one of the reasons why astrology has been taken out of so many religions, and why so many religions look on astrology, or indeed reincarnation, as something from the dark side. And yet, I will be going into this in the not too distant future. There is evidence of astrology not just in the Bible, but also in the Quran and just about all the other true religions. I'll go into all about that in the not too distant future. It is there, the planets are there, and the structure of the solar system is there, as the astrology of God shows you, to give us clues so that we can understand God. And of course the problem is, for those powers that be, they don't like that too much. They like a little fawning group of people who are all looking up terrified. They don't like people to say, well, I get it. I've got it. It's there and it's in my scriptures. It's wonderful. And I can understand it objectively. Because look, that planet goes there, that planet goes there. Here's a little bit of working out that the book provides. You can work out, the orbits of the planets. I mean, one of the incredible things about the astrology of God, I think, is the way that it actually shows how and why the solar system is structured as it is, including the orbit times. It shows how and why it's structured in that way, including the orbit times, so that it directly relates to God. That's the incredible thing about it. And of course it goes back to, the very early parts of, for example, the Bible. It does mention the lights on the horizons and so on, and these clues that they give you. It's the fundamental basic evidence that there is indeed God, one that we can actually think about. And of course, the people who want to take control of everybody's lives, the tiny minority of people who want to put matter, let's say, over spirit, or very materialist approach to life, and disallow people to have that peaceful, loving, but very powerful sense of God. They're not going to like that at all if you've got people actually getting an understanding, an objective understanding of God. So, and of course, God's power, of course, is the greatest of all. And when you connect with that by understanding it, by feeling it, but certainly by understanding it, so you know what you're talking about.